Hey, I'm Menoe. This is my Hardcore Ironman. In this series, I'm going for a max streak at the Arch-Glacor, where I'm losing my status. I haven't been PVMing for at least a week or two. It's time to finally push the limits, see where I can take this streak. First kill back, of course, I forgot that mark. Here we go, War Battle Staves. It's not a bad start. 4:41 is my kill time at the moment with tank armor. I rewatched my 1k kill and it's 4:27. But the comparison is a bit unfair there, because it's power armor versus tank, but this time with the tank I also have vulnerability bombs, and I also play extremely safe, well, as far as hardcore Glacor streaking goes. Kill number 2 coming up. I can always relax a bit when I have devotion activated. I feel like a rare soon. Soon later. I think I have a few too many of these stone spirits by now. I'm liking the tank armor, feels way more safe. Let's see, any more stone spirits? Pretty much the same. This place is great for reaper tasks, getting plenty of points, and a bit of bolt tips, and a bit of money, and a bit of gems. Here's a big milestone of the streak coming in. 100 kill count in hard mode, means I'm halfway through the streak. With water talismans, oh well. 1200 in rage. I guess that means I'm gonna end at like 2400. That sounded very high. I thought it was like 2200 maybe. Finally a good drop again. Bit of brew supplies. I'd like to see some pages though. Alright, here's the good drop. Maybe not. Decent for necropots though, I guess it's fine. Attempt number, whatever it is. Bit of cash. I always like cash, but it's kind of not really a good drop. Up to 1300 in range now. Getting pretty high. I was waiting for this drop, Glacor Remnants. That's all I need for the tier 95s. Now I just need 2 cores. Easy enough, right? Kill times are pretty horrible with this tank here. And the loot is also horrible. Lovely drop. But I'm more hyped about enrage. Finally gonna get past 1500. It's time for another kill commentary. I summon army, life transfer, eat the solid food, command ghost. Test if you're on the wrong spellbook by using Vengeance, and also pre-death mark since I don't have any power armor anymore. I use targeted wounds because I think they activate a tick earlier, at least it looks like it. I got a good spawn and don't have to worry about immunity attacks, so I can just build for a living death and then go for a triple skulls rotation. Guess what happens if I miss a prayer flick on this enrage? I guess tank armor doesn't really matter. Right now I'm just building up for the second skulls, and if I need to, I don't mind using defensives to build adrenaline. I usually try to split souls after the second skulls, but I noticed I'm getting the cannon mechanic, which means I'm gonna pray mage a lot, which will waste the split souls. So instead I'm building for adren and devotion. I prepared a lot for this, and I've noticed that if I have split soul activated, then I get a bit greedy on the soul split flicks, and on the cannon I always played safe. I know the usual method is to reflect and then resonance the last hit, but I don't want to do that on a hardcore. I'd rather just pray mage and devotion. For the minions at 1500 in rage, I'll still just do the same thing. Threads, sap, volley. Don't really need death mark yet, but maybe in a couple hundred in rage. If I miss a prayer flick, it's 6.5k basic damage. After every immunity mechanic, I always try to pay attention to the wound if I need to reapply it. Beams are coming in, so I'm building a run for barricade. Here's what happens if you touch a beam at 1500. Not as bad as I thought, to be honest. When going for a 200 streak, it's important to always be consistent, so I never change my beam strat. Always go to this corner, diagonal dive, then wait 2 ticks and do my barricade. I could extend my barricade 3.6 seconds from the Maltops in Dinosaur Farm, but then I would need 11 more farming levels, so I'm not very keen on that. The Glacier always does 5 different mechanics at the start, so if you've had 4 and you paid attention to them, then you can always predict the 5th one. For the arms I still do bloat volley, but I also added split souls, because I get a bit paranoid. I don't want to die to arms, it would be so embarrassing. But yeah, you probably don't need split souls. But then again, it's 3 damage, so why not? Now that I've had 5 mechanics, then I can get a back-to-back. But back-to-back arms doesn't really matter at this enrage. Looks like I'm getting beams again, so building up for 100 adren. Here I like to resonance the last hit, because then I have full HP for the beams, which could save my life if I'm dumb enough to run into them. Here I immortality since my barricade is on cooldown, which means I gotta pay extra attention. If you're close to the beams, then Vitality Potion could be a good lifesaver. Might let you tank 2 hits instead of 1, but I very much prefer to not find out if that's true or not. Here is the arms mechanic again. A good alternative for this mechanic is to bring a flanking switch. I know it's really good for high enrage, but since I don't have tier 95s, I'm kinda struggling to find a weapon to perk. After arms is a good place to life transfer or just summon army and also apply bloat. I can see that my skull's cooldown is almost there, so I'm just dumping damage and then building more adren. Now I can see that I'm getting cannon mechanic, so I need to get 50 plus adrenaline. And might as well build stacks while doing it. I also pay extra attention to my prayer points so I don't run out mid-mechanic, and also check if my devotion is on cooldown or not. Devotion, anticipate, easy enough. Now I'm building for living death. And at the moment I'm 50-50 to either get focused attacks or minions. I think an early living death here was a bit of a mistake, but I got lucky anyways. After the first skull, I always go for 1 finger and then build for the second skull. And also split soul after the second skull. I like to disruption shield during split soul to get that extra soul split damage. I still try to pray flick even if I have disruption shield activated though, because I don't want to take that 16k if I don't have to. Look at this melee animation. If you get flurry into minions, then it cancels the animation of the last hit of flurry. It's a good thing to keep track of, otherwise you might die to a ghost attack and then you have to go on Reddit and complain. This was the 10th mechanic, which means it has cycled through every mechanic 2 times, and that means this 11th one can be any of the 5. I'll admit I'm bad enough to wound bomb my summons probably at least once every kill. It's getting frustrating, but hey, what can you do? I like flurry, but it's a bit awkward when you have living death on cooldown, so instead I use reflect since the hits are big, and then I can maybe do some extra damage. Other than that I just try to spend all my stacks while also upkeeping bloat. So volley, skeleton spec is good, weapon spec. One thing I'm bad at using is the zombie explosion. I know it's very strong, but it's so awkward to use and decide if it's worth sacrificing or not. It's a good example of a worst case arm scenario where I have no stacks. So I do ECB spec, or split souls I guess, and then bloat, go for finger, and then it just disappears while you build stacks. I feel like the only way to fail this is probably if you forget to attack the arm or something like that. And now all you have to do is collect the loot. Was it worth it? Here's 1600 enrage done. Any loot? Oh, a book. That's kinda cool. I like getting multiple broadcasts. It's gonna be fun when I'm claiming later. Kinda always go for the back-to-back. How's it looking? Oh wow, I actually got it. Ling artifact. Alright. It's extremely useless, but I've never had a back-to-back from Glacier. Not as useless as Stone Spirits, so I'll take it. If I get it back 3 back, then I'm buying a lottery ticket. Alright, that's good. I don't want to buy a lottery ticket. Have a guess. I'm thinking seeds. Ah, kill times are getting up there for sure. Wonder if I'll push 10 minutes on the last one. Anything good there? Oh, that's good. Alright. Every unique from the Glacor. That's awesome. I'm still missing Nihilus, but I don't care at all. And now it's time to claim. I'm just kidding. Of course I'm gonna continue. I guess the streak is gonna be a bit more scary now. Gotta get the back-to-back, of course. Let's see. Best drop into seeds, but I'm still happy. I would be even happier if it wasn't 60 kills of high risk left. It's gonna be such a bummer if I lose the core and also my hardcore, but I'll do my best to not let that happen. We'll see soon enough how well that goes. At least I'm at enrages where I'm not that embarrassed if I die.